Scrapbookers. Pardon me for the coughing immediately as I start. I have allergies since we got a new dog. I didn't have allergies with the old dogs. Go figure. Anyways, I wanted to make a layout with brushstroke, and these are this is like an example of brushstroke. We're just seeing it a lot in scrapbooking this year. It's 2014. And I wanted to show you how I made these. And it's really easy. Like, it's not hard at all. These were just an old book that I had bought a long time ago to alter, and I never really did that. But occasionally I'll use the book pages in my scrapbooking. And I think I bought the book at the dollar store. And it was about Katharine Hepburn, and my name is Katharine, so there's a lot of like Kate all throughout the book, so I kind of liked that. So let's get started. What I use for my brush stroke is not all that fancy. So I have a little sink in my scrapbook room, and I just keep this mess kind of next to it. I don't clean my brushes. Sorry, Grandpa Allen. My grandfather was an artist, and as is my mother-in-law, and they would both be mortified to see the dirty brushes. But I think I was either Van Gogh or his brother had an issue with cleaning their brushes. I can't remember. I want to say Van Gogh was the one who was maybe a little lazy about cleaning his brushes. And so I have that same little quirk. So if it was Van Gogh, I'm in good company. So I'm just moving my little Rascog cart over there. And then I also have, show you some other things that I have on my desk. I have a whole hoard of paints, but I just have these here. Just some blacks and whites. And then I also have this, this is very old. It's from when I was a child. And because my grandfather was an artist, I spent a lot of time when I was a kid doing art. So those are some of my, I have some other things over here. I've got some sprays that I never use, just because I think they're so messy. I'm going to move this whole mess to the side. And then, okay, so I like I want to make a page. So I like this idea of start. I could just use this, or I could try a different one. Let's just see how we do. So if you kind of use some paper that you like, but you're okay with if you mess it up. So this paper is kind of perfect for me. I also like the look of the brushstroke on top of the text. I just think that's a cool look. But I'm going to try something a little bit different with this next page. I'm going to use the watercolor, and then I'm going to do the brushstroke over it. And I haven't tried that yet. And I have a heat gun, and I'm not really sure where it is, which is so frustrating. Because I should know where that puppy is. So I make my videos in real time. So if I'm disorganized, you will hear about that. And you may think like, well, why didn't I prepare before the videos? And honestly, if I had to prepare for the videos, I probably wouldn't do them. So that's one reason. The other reason is that I like to make the videos in a way that you're seeing my whole process. So part of my process is kind of deciding what I'm going to do. I just opened a drawer looking for that other stuff, and I just happened upon some random bits. So I think I might use some of these in my, these look like fancy pants punch outs. but I'm not finding what I'm looking for, which is some more punch outs. Yeah, just random. I mean, I'm literally just looking in, I'm looking for that other thing, but I'm happening upon these things that are, what these are things that I've used in the past. And then I keep this little bin on my desk where if I'm making a layout and then I don't use something, and sometimes the bin is bigger than other times. This is my current bin. It contains adhesives, but it also contains like random things that I thought I was going to use on a layout and then I didn't. So after a time, when this gets way too full, I will just bag this up in a Ziploc bag and store it away. And then if I come back to it, which is what I just did here, great. If I never come back to it, it's fine. It's either way. And I can then donate it. But it's just, and if I, really want one of those things that I kind of toss to the side, then I know to go back into that Ziploc bag. But I like to clear the decks every once in a while, and that's just my system for doing that. I'm just finding like just odds and ends. So let me just find a few more odds and ends in here. I have a couple of little tags. I think those could work. I think I have 3, so I want to see if I can find that other one. So I'm not looking everywhere in my scrapbook room. I just am looking right here, but I am kind of looking everywhere for that, what do you call it? The heat gun. I don't know where it went. Gah! So let me just take a little look around real quick before I get to the painting. I'm just looking at my Alex cart. I don't think it's in here, but it's easy enough to open the drawers and look real quick. It is not in there. Wow, it's so weird that I can't find it because the space isn't all that huge. And everything is pretty easy to find. Okay, so this is another one of those bins where I kind of put stuff. I thought it might be in there, but it's not. So more of those little bins. So I just took the things that I had been working on and then got tired of, and then I just stuck them in here. I do like these cuts that I made with the silhouette. So I'm going to pull those out. And a Polaroid. And, yep, I made a lot of those cuts with the silhouette. I'm just pulling random things here, but I want to see if I can kind of try to make these work on a page. I'm also kind of looking for that heat gun, but I don't really think I'm going to find it. So I have some flair there. I have some really cute things in here. So the problem with this system is sometimes little bits, like really cute little bits, kind of get lost in the shuffle. And am I okay with that? Kind of. I don't think it's the best, sorry, the best laid plan, but it's just what I've been doing lately. So here's the other cuts I've made on the silhouette. I don't think I'm going to use any of these. They look like a lot of Christmassy kind of things, although I found a little frame. I like that. There's another frame. I like that. So I pulled like way more things than I'm probably going to use. I found a picture of myself because this is going to be a layout about me. So, so let me pull these pictures of me, and these are from Christmas. I just want the ones of me, the selfies. Okay. Oh, hold on, I have somebody at my house. Okay, I'm back, and I didn't really look anymore for that heat gun, but I did find my blow dryer I'm going to use that instead of the heat gun. But let's get this layout started. Okay. Okay. So here's my random hodgepodge, like, not even clean brushes. Here's a little cup that came with like a Glade candle. So I'm not all that concerned with keeping this pristine. Yeah. So there we go. So let's see if I, and then this is just a paper plate. So I'm going to start with this pink color. And I really love that this watercolor set, it's from Switzerland. It's called Caran de Asch. I don't know. It's probably French, and I never bonded with that language. Took French and Spanish, and Spanish was so much easier because all of the letters are pronounced. Whereas in French, you have all these like, well, that one's silent. Anyways. So I don't even know if that is French, but it looks like it is. So here's some. The paper is really buckling. I'm kind of okay with that. I don't really like how dark it looks in the middle, but let me just dry this off and then show you the brush script on top of it. So I'm just going to use the low setting and okay, so I live in Florida where it is humid, so I think if you were in a drier climate, this might dry a little bit quicker, but this seems like it's kind of taking a while to dry. I probably got it too wet. On the higher setting, I do want this paper to be fairly dry. It's still damp. Okay, it's even still damp, but I'm now impatient. So let us move on a little bit. I'm still really wondering where my heat thing is, because it's not like, you know, it's about this big, but it seems like too big to just lose. I don't know. I'll have to let you know when I find it. Okay, so I want to do kind of a dry brush thing with the text. Okay, this brush, it looks like I've used this, I didn't clean it. So I'm going to, and so that's not going to be like the best choice for me for a dry brush. This one is, okay, if I kind of move the bristles around, this one isn't moving. So I may have like totally destroyed that brush. But this one is moving a little bit more. So the bristles still have paint on them from last time, but they're dry and they are moving now. So let's try the, okay, because I have watercolor on watercolor and I don't want it to bleed, I am going to use the acrylic paint instead of, and I've done this brush script with both, let me do it with the watercolor first, just on something else, just to show you what that looks like. So, oh, I ruined my dry brush. Okay, that's not good. Okay, here is So here's a different piece of paper that I didn't do that watercolor on. And then I've gotten some, probably too much water on the brush. And now I'm going to get some of this black watercolor. And I want to think of a word. And my word of this year was improvement. That seems like a really long word to write on this, but let's try it anyways. Improvement. Okay. That's how unfamiliar I am with my word this year. I think it's I-M, not I-N. Improvement. Let me just... And so when I'm a little bit unsure of my spelling, I'll just Google it, and then it's kind of like my... Yeah, it's improvement. So I'm just putting that in front of me because I know how to spell. But sometimes when I'm talking and doing a technique, I forget letters. So it's I am... Okay, I don't like the way this looks, but even though I don't like it, I'm still gonna finish it. So the look of your letters is going to vary depending on how dry or wet your brush is. And I think that's really like a, you know, you can look at what's trendy and try to mimic that, or you can just kind of do what you like. So there's my word, improvement. I'm not in love with it, but whatever. You don't have to be in love with every single thing you do. It's good to just try things. So let's try a little something different. All right, let's just do the year. And I'm still using the watercolor. I'm going to make this bigger. Okay, that doesn't really look like brushstroke to me because I don't think my brush is dry enough. But I'm going to just, even though I don't like it, I'm not just going to scrap this. I'm going to keep going. I may never use it. That's fine. But I still think there's, I don't like this at all. But it's nice practice. And there's benefit to that. What I'm wondering is if maybe I can go back over this with a drier brush and then like it more. But now I'll have the basic structure. So I'm just gonna get my brush way more dry now. And I've kind of like messed it up. And I'm also, you know, this is a cheap brush. This is, you know, not very special at all. So now I'm just kind of going around this brush. Like going around where I was. Maybe a little bit too much. So I'm just making the edges look fuzzier. Again, I'm really not like, I don't really like this so far. There's nothing about this that I'm like, oh, I like this. I keep doing things that I'm like, I like this even less. But that's giving it kind of more of a brush stroke. Do I like it? No, I hate it. Okay, let's try the acrylic paint. And so I'm just going to turn that over. Not committed to these pages. I'm going to put I think I'm about done with my watercolors, and now I want to get some of this paint, and I'm just pouring a little bit of this black acrylic paint onto my paper plate. This is just like regular craft paint from the craft store. Nothing fancy. Okay, now I have some paint on my brush, and what do I want to write? What's my word? There's a word action. I really don't like this. I don't like the way that my cursive is looking. So what I can do is go to Pinterest, and then I can type in the search bar brush stroke. So brush strokes. Okay. No, that's not really what I want. I want brush stroke type. Okay, here we go. Oh, I like this kind of all in caps. There's something here that's like all in caps. It says designer sale. Let's do that improvement, the word improvement, in all caps. So let's go back to, do I need to get that word out again? I don't know. Probably. I mean, I don't need to, but it's probably not a bad idea. Improvement. Okay. I like this. I think I'm going to run out of improve. I think I'm going to run out of space. Yep. But I like the way that looks better. But I'm probably not going to use that for this. But I am going to use, so I really like the word start. That's, so I think I'm going to use that word because this is only 5 letters. And I can make it much larger. I'm going to start in the middle with that A. I like this way better, and that's going to be the one that I use on my page. So see, I did a bunch of practicing. I kind of got my feel for it and got the feel for the kind of type that I wanted to do, and kept working through it even though I wasn't happy with all of my results. I didn't let that bother me. And so I'm just going to put all this paint stuff like I do back, and it's yeah, it's not how I recommend keeping your good painting supplies, but these here are cheap painting supplies, and so it's not the best, but it is what I've been up to with my paint supplies. So me and Van Gogh have the same messiness problems. Yeah, we'll go with that. Let me just... Okay. My kind of issue with that area over there is that I have my silhouette set up right next to this sink, which is probably a bad idea. And so I'm just pretty cautious. I don't really use that sink very often, but when I use it, I try to be real cautious. So I'm going to pause and sit in on a masterful scrapbook design. Office hours, we're doing, Debbie Hodge is doing a series called Style is Leverage, and today we're going to have office hours with Corey Jones. So I'm looking forward to that. So there's my start. And then I will come back and I will still have this little, like, I'm not really going to do anything with this little mess. I'll just leave it right like that, so when I come back you can see that I haven't worked on it. The process will continue on film. Okay, bye. Hi scrapbookers, so I'm back, and I did a masterful scrapbook design, The Style is Leverage, and I didn't do it, but I was in on the call with Corey Jones, and she's a scrapbooker who I really adore. We have very kind of different styles, but I like her personality so much. I just think she's a cool girl. And so I always have a lot of fun when we talk in the Get It Scrapped. And everybody in the Get It Scrapped community is just so so good and positive. I'll say the same thing about the Big Picture Classes community. And I think the difference between communities like that and scrapbooking, online scrapbook communities, and the difference between that and like what we see here on YouTube and also like in some of the stores is that you can have anonymous comments here. Whereas if you're in a paid membership site, you know who everybody is. So, and if somebody's mean, then they have to leave. So, yeah, I just think that is a difference, and I think you can feel like safer sharing in a smaller environment like that. So we talked about some of that stuff. So I'm just gonna start on this layout because it says start, and these are pictures of me from Christmas time. And now I'm in 2000. We're in 2014. It's March. Of course, I made my annual I'm gonna lose weight goal, and didn't do anything about it in January, didn't do anything about it in February, except, worry about it. But I keep watching that. I'll get back to scrapbooking. Hold on. I need a piece of paper. So I need a background piece of paper. And so, because I just had a big dose of Corey Jones, she's somebody who doesn't use a lot of paper or pattern paper, so she likes her backgrounds to be muted. So I'm going to just take a page from her book and use a background paper that is a pattern, but it's just very subtle. This is from the Snippets collection with Studio Calico. So, and the thing she says she does, which I don't usually do, is she uses gesso. And let me just see if I can. Okay, so I'm like doing a couple different things all at once. The main point of this page is that I wanted to use the brushstroke, but this is just white paint. That's not gesso. Let's use it anyways. So what I was sort of afraid of was that with the thinner papers, like this is kind of a thinner paper, that the gesso kind of makes the paper buckle, and she says she doesn't have that problem. Maybe because I'm not using actual gesso, I'm using the craft paint. Let me, I don't think I'm going to use this on this page, but I just, because it's on my mind, I wanted to show you this. So yeah, we just had a really nice discussion about like what scrapbooking means to you and what your strengths and weaknesses are in scrapbooking. Why do you do it? What's your, you know, what part, like, and the why you do scrapbooking. There's so many answers to that. And then, you know, what the benefits of scrapbooking are. And so we just had a long, awesome, scrappy conversation. Okay, so this is a page where I like this side of the page. It's just like a gingham. This side of the page looks crazy. Like, what would I ever use all those birds for? Okay, so if you have a little girl, maybe. But this is how, like, Corey Jones had this paper that was like heartbroken. It looked a tiny bit like this. It was not graphic like this. It was more stylish. This is by Echo Park. It's called Little Girl. It is not that old. I really like this side. I'm really not crazy about that side. But this is what she does to, and imagine this was gesso. It's not. But oops, that might be too much. So I just squirted some paint right onto my paper, and I almost feel immediately like, oh, that's too much paint. So I'm going to get a foam brush, and this might even have a little bit of other color on it. I'm not that concerned about it, but I'm just going to make kind of a circle in the middle here. So that way, like if I were making a Corey Jones type layout, so if I were channeling her, this is kind of the idea that she has. So she mutes out the background. And I actually like this, like way more than I thought I would. And then I can, so the edges are, so it's almost like putting a filter. This is what I said during the chat. It's like putting a filter on your scrapbook pattern paper. So she said one of her weaknesses or one of her difficulties in scrapbooking is using pattern paper because she feels like it overwhelms the photos. So let's use this. Let's just use this because it's fun. I am going to, sorry, I'm just going to rinse off that foam brush. I think earlier in this video, I've been making this video kind of in segments. But earlier I was saying how I'm not cleaning my brushes, so cleaned my brush. Okay, let's blow dry that just a little bit. I have misplaced my heat gun. So I want the paper to be dry. I am getting that buckling effect. And maybe that's because I'm using thin paper, but somebody else on that call said the way they fixed that was to do it on the back too. Oh. I really liked the back of this too. Remember I was going to use it? Whoops. So I've used the side of the paper that I didn't think I was going to use. But I wanted to show you that method that she has. So that, I feel like that's pretty buckly. But it also feels like it doesn't matter that much because so much else is going to go on top of it. I kind of like this more than I expected to. I didn't expect that I would actually use the birdie side of this paper. So I'm going to try the trick that they said on the call, and they did the gesso on, and I'm not using gesso, and I know that it is different than paint. So, hold on just a second. I'm just looking for if I have any handy. I don't. But I've been slowly moving my scrapbooking space up to this area, and the paints have not come up yet. So just a few paints have come up, so maybe that's another step. I need to purge a lot of stuff, and I guess I've just, I love everything, so I like to keep everything, but I don't love the way my space looks when I have everything. So I go through these like phases of where I'm saving everything, and then I go through, I'll hit a burst of energy and I'll just clean house. And anyways, so I did clean my house pretty recently, but and I did purge some scrapbooking things, but not, it's an ongoing process. Not enough. But the girls at the office said they loved all the stuff that I brought in. And they aren't necessarily scrapbookers, but they all have kids, and so they all really enjoyed the stuff. Okay, I don't think this is really solving my buckling problem. And now my hands are all wet, so I keep a little pack of Huggies diaper wipes in my scrapbook space. Even though I have a sink right here, I don't use the sink much. I think I probably need to rearrange a few things. I've been up in this space for a while, like maybe, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 or 5 months, and I still don't feel like it's exactly how I want it to be. So there are like little hiccups, and what I really should do is rewatch some of these videos to see where I'm getting those hiccups and then fix those problems. But in the meantime, I'm just working with what I have and the scrapbook space in its current condition. Anyways, I find those conversations over at Get It Scrapped so invigorating. I just really love them. I love them. I do. They just, you can talk with a bunch of ladies that, and not to be sexist, but scrapbooking is pretty much ladies, and probably pretty much ladies in like the probably I would say in the 35 to 50 range are the folks that I usually see in online classes, but and in online paid for communities. Anyways, it's nice to be able to talk to your people and people that have the same concerns that you do, and kind of speak that same language of this subculture that is scrapbooking. So we could do it like this. We could do it like that. I don't know what to do. You know what I might do? I don't know. But I'm wondering, there's this girl on the Get It Scrapped creative team named Christy, not Christy Yamaguchi, Christy Strickler, and she would cut this page in half and then use both, tie them back together. So anyways, she has a video on YouTube about that, how to use what you have and stretch your, okay, so that seems like a lot of me, right? It's okay. I kind of like this design here, and I pulled up a bunch of things, and I don't think I'm going to use them all. What I mainly wanted to do with this layout is do the brushstroke of start. So that was my main goal, but then I pulled out all the stuff, and I have, these are cute. I could probably kind of work those in somewhere, or maybe I could remove those photos because they're kind of not very good quality, and maybe do like a symmetrical type of a layout, and one that I don't normally do, like one that's kind of got all sorts of things going on, like maybe all these I cut on the silhouette, like all of these, because we're spring, it's a season of renewal, and even though I didn't really start my my diet and exercise routine in earnest, at when 2014 began, I'm starting it now. So I kind of look at March as a time where if you didn't get all of your goals, like it's just a time to check in with your New Year's goals. So I checked in with my New Year's goals, and I realized, oh, I'm not where I want to be. So so it's just a time when I am recommitting to my fitness goals and then some other goals. I went to a business meeting yesterday, and I got a bunch of ideas for my business, and I was like, I'm going to start to implement those, and that sounds really exciting. And so, yeah. So I'm thinking something kind of like growing, like bursting off the page. I don't know if they're going to go down here too or not. I kind of think no. I kind of think I want something more structural down here, like maybe those, I don't know if I like that. So what am I trying to say? I don't know. Oh, I kind of like, because I've got some red. All right. I'm a scrapbooker who likes to just start sticking things down. So let's do that. And I'm actually okay with the buckling on this page. And I'm also okay with not a lot of journaling on this page. So that's a little bit different for me. But I think what I'll do is, so this is going to go here, approximately. I don't know about these. I'm going to use a glue stick. When you use a glue stick, you're pretty much committing to what you're doing. So I'm not really going to change where this goes. But I've just glue sticked it in the middle, so I can tuck things under. Like I want this picture to kind of tuck under. And I like the idea of being able to see this date and having my picture kind of maybe not be completely straight. I like that. Okay, so I'm gonna adhere that down. That's a fairly aggressive adhesive, so that's staying. And then this one I've just kind of used that bottom part. There we go. Okay, and now with the leaves, I'm just kind of wondering where I want them to go. I might cut this doily in half. Kind of like this. So I know I was like on a roll of talking there, and then I got thinking about all this, and then I kind of stopped. We also talked about like being so into your creative process. Oh, I know I can't do this because it's it's gone. Trash can. But being so immersed in your activity, and that's really, you know, that's where happiness and fun in life reside. So if you want to have more fun, or you want to be happier, become completely immersed in what you're doing, and you will be happier. Okay, this is my advice to you. It is based on scientific stuff. I want to lay these down, but I don't want them to be like so stuck. I want them to be kind of a little bit coming off the page. So how are we going to do this, people? I don't know, because I want to say, I know what to do. Okay, so I'm going to my thermo web, which is like my favorite way to adhere die cuts, but I'm not gonna stick them totally down. I'm just gonna stick them like kind of coming off like this, so that they will kind of come off the page a little bit. Here we go. And this. Okay. So that way these leaves will still feel light and airy, but I'll be able to stick them down at the bottoms. Oops. Anyways, I just had a delightful time with all the people over there at Masterful Scrapbook Design. Debbie Hodge has created a really wonderful place for women and scrapbookers. But it almost, you know, we talk about scrapbooking, like that's the main topic, but like so much other stuff gets discussed, like life and, you know, stages in life, you know, even like it's a good place to like get a second opinion about something that's going on, that you know, maybe at school that you're like, I don't know about this, or my kid is having an issue with this. Who knows about that? There's a lot of ladies who are like kind of hitting their empty nest stage. But a lot of people that have kids too, and there's some single, you know, single people and retired people. There's just like a good cross-section of women. So you're getting not just one perspective. And then it's just really cool. It's like everybody's good and friendly and encouraging and, you know, funny too. It's not all... Like, I think it would be boring if there was no snarkiness. And there's not snarkiness, but there is an ability to, like, we do these critique workshops in the Masterful Scrapbook Design. And, you know, you can get constructive feedback on your layouts. And it's a safe place to do that. All right. So I'm not sure, I think that's enough there. I kind of like the idea of this one here. Anyways, I love, one of the reasons I like scrapbooking is the online scrapbooking community, but not like every bit of it, you know, because there's like mean girl side to the online scrapbooking world too. But you don't have to be involved in that. You just have to like really be selective about the places you're hanging out. You know, the same advice that you give to your kids about what they ought to be doing or not doing online. Okay, so I feel like I need something to balance the top with, you know, of this page and the bottom. I'm not sure if I'm going to use the rest of those, but I'm just going to set that to the side for now. I like the idea of this red color because I have red in my shirt, and I also like the idea of not going anywhere to get any more supplies, to just use what I have here on the page. So it would be better if these two pieces were from the same piece, but they're not. I'm not sure if I like this yet or not. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to lay down some glue and start sticking stuff down. So there's a little camera action. I don't like it. But because the glue is drying, it kind of gives me a, you better get this done. Yeah, let's go like, kind of like this. Okay, still not in love, like not by a long shot. No. How about I like that better. I don't love it yet. Okay, this is better for me. I don't think it's perfect. That's okay. It doesn't have to be. Okay, so I'm just gonna jot down a little bit of what I'm thinking. I really do like the idea of the cameras, but maybe not, you know, the whole layout. Well, those are coming. Okay, so I have stuck these down. I need a Sharpie. Okay, this is kind of like note to self, and I usually sign my layouts like with Love Mommy, but I wrote, March is the time to recommit to my New Year's goals. Love, Katie. Hello, March 2014. Start. So I am started, and I have started, and I've made a little progress, and my daughter is helping me to keep accountable, and I'm not involving her too much in that process. Oh, these are like little birdies. I like that idea. I wish they were facing the other direction, but but they're not, but I don't care. Oh, because there's birds on the back. Yeah, that's right. See, I planned that. I didn't. I'm wondering whether to like cut one of these in half or use two of them. I'm going to cut one in half. Okay. Let's pull this up a little bit. And so this is just a symmetrical designed layout. Debbie Hodge has a whole series, and I forget what it's called because I forget stuff. But it is that adhesive. So the double stick tape, totally not working on adhering it to the sparkly doily, so I'm going to need something more stickier. So I have these things called glue dots, and I think they're going to work. Just stick and peel. They don't look like much, but they're pretty sticky. So I just don't want to get my fingers on those, and I want to tuck this under enough that it's so you don't see the edge of it. I don't have that much wiggle room. I probably should have just used two, but I'm frugal, or I think I am. I'm not really. I am sometimes. Okay. So I like the idea of some flowers, but not necessarily the same on both sides. Not those. Not those. I wish these, in this little, this is American Crafts, but I wish these were mirror images of each other, because then it would just work better for the symmetry of this page, but it's not. I don't like those. Well, maybe we just have one. Maybe we just buck the symmetry a little bit. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Sometimes I wish I could go, what do you think? And you could like actually tell me. I think I'm going to skip that. Let's see if we can get some down here though. Now I think I'm adding too much stuff. Yep. Sometimes it's good to stop. Okay, now I have, since we've got kind of a bird spring motif going on, I have this little thing. It has, what do you call those? I don't know what you call them. What do you call these things? I don't know. Flare. That's what you call them. So this is called Flare. Not Claire, but Flare. So maybe this is kind of sticking on top of these, like it's holding it down like a push pin. I don't like it. I don't think there's enough contrast there. But maybe it could go here. But then I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna skip it. Skip the flare. I like this little sentiment though. This says it's gonna be okay. I like that a lot. I don't really want to put a dot and a dot though. So can I put it maybe in between these things? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. Do we hate it? I think I hate it. I really like the idea of using these because they match the they totally match the colors and the motif, but I really don't know where to put them. Put it up here and then maybe down here. I don't really like that arrangement either. I think I'm just trying to force it, and so when that happens, it's a good idea to, I don't know, do what your gut tells you. Like, keep on with it or give up on it. I'm going to give up on it, and that's fine. And so, did I really tell my story on this page? No, I really didn't. Do I want to? Yes, I do. So, here's my little stack of stuff that sort of needs to go away. But what I'm going to do, oh, here's a little shiny thing. I wanted something a little bit shiny on this page, and I didn't really have anything, and I kind of like this idea of, oh, that is not coming up. I like this idea of the heart, even if it's just one. And I do have, yeah, we're not doing that.